today's video is going to be my September TBR. I cannot believe it's September, but here we are again filming a TBR video. There are quite a few new releases coming out in September. I've been pretty busy with working at Apple, so I finally got a chance to sit down and film my September TBR, which is literally my favorite video to film every month. So I put some new prompts in the jar that were like a little bit fall themed because the jar was getting pretty low, and honestly I was getting pretty frustrated with the prompts that were in here because I didn't really have that many books to fulfill the prompts. So let's just go ahead and see if we can pick 6 prompts to get some of these books on my TBR. I'm telling you right now, I'm not really going to be reading that many books off the cart this month, which is crazy, but I'm actually going to be focusing more so on more series than last, 4 months of the year that I've been on my TBR for quite a while on this shelf here. So we are going to try and pull at least one of them for September. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have my list in front of me, but we're going to see what we can get on the TBR. I've already started my September books, by the way. So certain books are already on the TBR because I actually already finished one. So yeah, and it's only the second day of the month so far. So let's go ahead and mix this up and let's pick our first prompts. So let's go ahead and pick this one. This is probably an older one. Let's see. Of course, it's an older one. Okay, book of the month. You know what? This is actually perfect because I actually have a book of the month that I have for this prompt that I actually haven't been ordering from book of the month. I didn't even order from them in August or July. I ended up picking a audiobook for July, August. I didn't even end up picking a book. I also forgot to say that I skipped the month of August, but I forgot to say that on the app. So I actually ended up getting charged for it still, but it's fine. I probably will end up canceling it soon, but I do want to listen to like the 1 or 2 audiobooks that I have left on there. But I actually just ordered one. And book of the month has it early, and I was going to fully intend on reading it before it comes out. And I'm so excited for this release because if you guys didn't know, I've read this every single book from this author before. So I've pretty much read her entire backlist. So I'm very excited for this book to come out. And the book that I'm going to be reading for this prompt is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I just ordered this and it should come very soon, so I'm glad that I'm able to read. This is actually her first adult fantasy book. I literally have all her books right up here and I've read every single one. I read Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart and I loved both trilogies so much, so I'm very, very highly anticipating this release. It comes out October 7th, but again, Book of the Month has it almost a full month early, so that is perfect for this prompt. So we got one, so that's actually great, even though that's not even a new prompt that I put in the jar. Let's try and see if we can pick a couple of the new prompts. Watch, like, I figured this was gonna happen as soon as I put new prompts in the jar, that I was gonna end up just picking all older ones still. Okay, let's go ahead and pick another one. Let's see. Let's try and pick it like from over here. All right, let's just pick this prompt. Okay, I think this might be a newer one. All right. This one says book that ends in odd number of pages. Okay. This is going to be fun. I felt like that putting these kind of prompts in the jar give me a lot more of like a broad spectrum of what I could pick versus like, and I feel like these are good prompts to like pick books that you're actually in the mood to read rather than picking books that are like books that you just have no desire to read at the time, even though like some of these books have been on my TBR for quite a while. I do have 2 books off the cart that I'm 100% reading this month. So let's see if Grave Flowers by Autumn Krause ends in an odd number of pages. This is a new YA release that comes out soon. This one ends in, I think it believes, it believes, yes, the book believes. This book ends in 300, on page 385, so it does end in an odd number of pages. That's amazing. So it's probably going to be this one. Let's check Rose and Chains though, just in case, because I didn't get to this month in August. by Julie Soto. This also ends in an odd number of pages. It ends in 441. So honestly, we could do either one of these books, and these would both fulfill that prompt. But I think we're going to do Grave Flowers, but literally I'm going to read like one right after the other. But I think we're going to do Grave Flowers by Autumn Krause. I will read the synopsis after we pick the prompts, but that is perfect. And I was wanting to pick one of these books to fulfill the odd number of pages prompt. Okay, so that's the first physical book that we have on the cart. So let's keep on going. Again, there's quite a few new releases that are coming out, but there are like 3 or 4 books on the TBR cart that I'm hoping to fulfill these prompts with. So let's go ahead and pick another one. We don't really have to screw on the cap fully, and honestly, I don't have to close my eyes when I'm shaking the jar up. I literally have no idea where the prompts end up when I shake it up, so it's not like we have to close my eyes, and we only do it when I'm like picking the actual prompts. Okay, let's actually pick from over here. Let's see if we get a new one. I think this is another new one. Okay, no it's not, but it's a fantasy, and honestly that's such a broad prompt anyway. So again, this is an older prompt, but honestly we can go with most of any of these books because most of them have fantasy in them. But I don't know if any of these are of like just a straight up fantasy, because most of them are romantasy books. Most of them that would be straight up fantasy would be like Brandon Sanderson, but again, we're not even undertaking that right now. I still haven't even read any of his books yet. Is The Night Circus just fantasy? Hold on, let's see. Because I still haven't read it yet, and I need to put it on the TBR anyway. Is The Night Circus... because I still have been putting that book off, and that would have been great for a fantasy book. Magical. It says it's a fantasy novel. Okay, perfection. So we're going to do The Night Circus, and we're finally going to read this in September. I think that this is going to be the perfect book to read in September. I honestly am getting just such a good September vibe from this book. My friend DNF'd this, though, even though it was our book club pick from our Facebook book club group, because I was the one that put it on the poll to be voted on, and we ended up picking this book. So, well, it was actually on a spinner wheel, but I really want to read this book in September, and I really do want to get to this one. Because I put it off in July and I put it off in August, and Felicia kept on saying to me, like, how have you not read The Night Circus yet? I'm like, I know. So we're just gonna do that one. It literally says a fantasy novel, so it's a full-on fantasy, so we're counting it. So, all right, let's go ahead and pick the 4th prompt. It's actually going way faster than I thought, because when I actually put other prompts in the jar, that's when I actually pick prompts that are like good. But you know, again, of course, we're not picking any new ones. All right, let's go ahead and see what this one is. Hopefully this is a new prompt. This one is mermaids. Let's see if we can get, let's try and picking one more. I'm not going to shake it up again. I'm just going to pick it from here and see if we get, of course, we're getting more older prompts. Author that intimidates me. Why are we getting all of the old prompts? You know what? We're putting these back and we're picking another one. I don't care. Like, how is it we're getting the old prompts already? I need to fold these back up a little bit better because they're already getting like a little bit unfolded and we don't want that. So, okay. Let's go ahead and shake it up one more time. Sorry, not sorry. At least we picked 3 already, so we're not cheating too much in this video. Okay, let's go ahead and shake it up again and see if we can get one of the newer prompts, because that's why I put them in this jar. Okay, let's see. Let's pick from this side. Okay, let's pick this one. This is a blue one. That's not even new. Okay, let's try this one. All right, let's see. All right, you know what? We're just gonna pick off the top, okay? This is a beige one. Oh, okay. This one is a new one. Paranormal fantasy romance. Okay, we finally got one of the new ones. I don't know if Gray Flowers is supposed to be a paranormal romance. Maybe I should have looked that up. Because I'm actually not really sure. Oh, you know what? I think I do have a paranormal romance on here. And this one will actually be perfect. Let's see. Yep. So we're gonna put this one on the list. This is actually an ARC that I received back in, I believe, like June or July. And I wanted to read it closer to the release date. If I could speak. And it's the third book by Jenna Levine, and it's the My Vampire series, and it's Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine, like I said. I love this series. I think it's so funny, and I did receive the arc of this. Sorry that there's such glare. I don't know why there's such glare. I think you could see it better like that, but I'm so excited to read this, and again, it's an arc, and this comes out September 23rd, so I want to read it right before it comes out. So yeah, we are going to pick that one as our prompt for, to fulfill the prompt for paranormal fantasy / romance. So that's great. Okay, let's go ahead and pick a fifth prompt and see what we get. Hopefully we get something a little bit better to get some of these other books on the TBR. Okay, let's go ahead and just pick. Let's not okay, we have two. I'm going to take the one that, that I actually picked. And I think that these are new. Oh, this is so crazy because I was hoping to get this one. And literally this would have fulfilled this prompt. Would have, the book that I picked for paranormal fantasy romance would have also fulfilled this one too. And this one's literally an arc read. I have two arcs that I wanted to read this month. So I do have the second one that comes out in September as well. And this one I actually received, I think, back in July. So this one does come out in September as well. And it comes out September 30th. And that is The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake. So we're just going to use that one. I have read two of her books before. Like I said, I did read My Roommate is a Vampire, and what was the second book called? I can't remember the name of the second book. By Jenna Levine, My Vampire Plus One. So now I'm going to be reading the third book, and now for this, these are not these are all standalone books. These are not interconnected standalones. They're just all like food themed books, but I love her like cozy writing about food. I love like her atmospheric writing about the comfort of food, and I'm just so excited to read this one. I've been like getting into the mood of reading this. One of my friends just finished The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie because I gave it to her to borrow, and I think that she loved it. So I read Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, and what was the other one called? Recipe for a Charmed Life, both last year, and I loved both of them. So I'm very excited to read this one. So yeah, that is for ARC read. Okay, let's see if we can get another physical book. Maybe we'll pick more than 6 prompts. Maybe we'll pick 8 again. So we'll see. Okay, let's go ahead and shake it up again. At least we are picking books that actually fulfill the prompt. So that's good. That's the whole point of these videos. Okay, let's go ahead and see what other prompts we can pick. Okay, let's pick I don't know, one of these, I guess. Okay, we got another yellow one. Let's see what this one is. This is another new one. Book under 400 pages. Perfect. And I know exactly which one I'm going to pick for this one, because this one is a shorter book, and it is on my list for this month. And it's actually... What book is this? No, not that one. I do kind of want to read that, though, soon. And it is a book on my list for September, and I know this book is very short. It's also a buddy read, again, with my book bestie Felicia. I'm pretty sure this is under 400 pages. So that is The Guncle by Stephen Rowley. Now we are going to be buddy reading this in September. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. And this book is only 324 pages. So very short. Very excited for this. And like I said, I've heard nothing but great things about this. A lot of people adore this book. It gives me like serious Birdcage vibes. If you guys have not seen that movie is hysterical with Robin Williams and Hank Azaria. And it's about like this gay couple that doesn't tell anybody that they're gay. And I'm just so excited to read this. I literally cannot wait to read this book. I've heard nothing but amazing things, and I want to read this before the summer's officially over, because I feel like it's giving like more of like a summery vibe to it, because like literally they're like by a pool with like drinks and stuff. And it just sounds like such an adorable book. So yeah, we're putting this one on the card. And that's great. So that scared the shit out of me. That's officially 6 books. I usually put the mug here so it doesn't fall. Oh my goodness. We are a mess already. Okay, let's put that there so it doesn't fall again. I think we're going to pick 2 more. Why not? We never get to do this more than once a month, so let's see if we can fulfill some more prompts. We have like 2 more that I would like to use for the prompt, so let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and pick. That is not a new one. The whole point is to pick new ones, not old ones. Okay, this is a new one. This is another yellow one. We still haven't picked a pink one. Book I've been avoiding. This is perfect. This is perfect, because are you guys sick of seeing this book? Because so am I. So we are literally going to pick Stephen King's Billy Summers yet again. And if you guys see this book on the October TBR, you can literally scream at me. I need to read this fucking book, you guys. I literally started the audiobook last month. I got up to page 68 and just never picked it back up again, because I ended up listening to like maybe 4 or 5 other audiobooks after that. But we're in the middle of it, and I was actually really enjoying it. I thought it was so good. Then I'm like, why is it that I still haven't read this? Literally, the prompt for this one is literally still in the book. And that was my thriller prompt that I still haven't fulfilled. So this one has been put on the TBR time and time again. And it's also on my 25 and 2025 list, and so is The Night Circus. So I feel like if we finally just fucking read it, I will be happy. I think I will have the time to read it this month, but literally I have said every single month, I think I'll be able to read it, and then I don't. So you guys can literally scream at me if I don't. So, okay, let's pick one more, because I feel like we've been doing good with these prompts. And let's just go ahead and see what the last prompt is going to be. If it's not a good one, or if it's not a new one, we're just going to pick another one. All right, we got a pink one finally. Let's see what this one is. And again, the colors don't even matter. New release. Perfection. New release. We can do so many different ones for this. But literally, I think the one I'm going to pick, because I'm going to read it literally the day it comes out, because literally it just goes so well with again, any of these are new releases pretty much, but there's only 4 or 5 new releases that I'm reading this month. How many am I reading this month? Literally, I'm reading a new release right now that came out today, which is Fearful by Lauren Roberts. I had to read that today. There was no way I couldn't read that book when it came out. So, and I'm probably going to finish it tonight, because it's just a novella. And I'm already like over 100 pages in. So far that book is crazy. But literally all the other new releases, Alchemy of Secrets is a new release, but doesn't come out until October. So I want to read a book that's coming out in September for this prompt. And literally the only other one that I'm going to be reading in September, because all these other ones I'm probably not going to read this month. I've actually already read another new release, because I read the arc of it. I read Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, which also came out today as well, September 2nd. You don't know what day it is when I say it's today. It's September 2nd. Hold on. Let me just make sure this is recorded. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this one. I also could technically put another one on that came out early last month, but I'm going to do this one because this one I'm literally reading, like I said, the day it comes out. And that is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I read all of her books, and I have been looking forward to this release pretty much all year. And I didn't realize that she came out with 2 books this year, because she also came out with Out of the Woods, which is literally right here. And I read that when it came out, and now I'm going to read People Watching. I have to. And this book is like screaming fall to me. So yeah, that is going to be the last book that we picked for the TBR prompts. I'm not going to do any more because I feel like that's going to be crazy overwhelming. But hopefully we will be able to get to most of these books. So these are the 4 books that we have physically that we are going to be putting on the TBR. We have Great Flowers by Autumn Krause, which is a book with an odd number of pages. We have Stephen King's Billy Summers, which is a book I've been avoiding. We have The Guncle, which is a book under 400 pages. And we have The Night Circus, which is just a fantasy book. And then ARC Read, we have The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake by Rachel Linden. Then we have Paranormal Fantasy Romance, which is My Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Then we have Book of the Month, which is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. And then we have New Release, which is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. So that's awesome. Okay, let's go through the rest of what my TBR is going to be. Let's go ahead and probably just talk about the series that I'm going to be reading this month, so we can put them on the TBR cart. But we have quite a few that we're going to put up here. Also, let's just talk about this one first because it's off of the TBR cart, but we are definitely going to be reading this next week. And that is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. I'm basically saying didn't. I did not get to this in August. I just simply ran out of time. So we are going to be reading this in September. And also, I kind of wasn't really in the mood for it. And also, again, just simply ran out of time to read this. So we're just going to put it on the September TBR because I really do want to read this in September. So that is going to be the next book that's going on the TBR. And then let's just talk about one more book that is on the cart that I really do want to read in September. This is kind of like a September hopeful, more so than I'm not sure if we're 100% going to read it this month, but I do really want to continue my Kristen Hanna series, my Kristen Hanna journey, I mean. Every single time I read one of her books, literally, I'm just literally sobbing. And they're just literal masterpieces to me. I absolutely love her books. She's like the Frederick Bachman of general fiction. And I really feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid is becoming one of my favorite authors as well. I just finished Malibu Rising yesterday and I absolutely freaking loved it. So, and I'm going to be reading another book by Taylor Jenkins Reid this month with Felicia as well that we'll talk about in a minute. But I really do want to put The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna on my TBR for September. We will see if we get to it. This is also a book I've been avoiding, but I think I will be in the right mood for it when I do read it, because usually when I do pick up her books, I literally cannot put it down. And I love reading books that Felicia recommends to me. Like I said, I read Malibu Rising, and now I'm in the middle of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and that is my first V.E. Schwab book, and I'm absolutely freaking loving it. And she recommended that to me as well. I mean, that book has already been on my TBR for like a year already, but I saw her earlier today and we read together, and I read Feel Fearful with her. But yeah, this is definitely going on the TBR for this month as well. And then I think that's the last book off of the TBR cart. Now, the last physical books that I'm going to be adding to the cart is going to be a series from my shelves, because I need to at least start this series or read at least like the first duology, but I'm putting all 5 of these on the TBR for this month, and that is, let me just make sure they're all in the right order. But we are going to be reading the entire Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen. They're not really like super chunky books, but I know they get longer as they go on. But we have the Bridge Kingdom, the Traitor Queen, the Inadequate Heir, Endless War, and the Twisted Throne. So Bridge Kingdom is the first book, and Twisted Throne is the 5th book. So 5 books are out so far in the series. It's going to be a 6-book series. I just collected them because I think the covers are absolutely stunning. But I'll just show you the first one to talk about the series. So this is the first book, The Bridge Kingdom. This is on my 25 and 2025. And the goal for September this year for me is that I picked this book up last Comic-Con, last October, along with The Will of the Many by James Ingleton, but I'm going to read that more towards November because the second book is coming out in November as well. So, but I wanted to read at least one of the books that I got from Comic-Con last year before Comic-Con this year because it's next month. It's in October. So I was really dying to read The Bridge Kingdom. If I don't even get to this until like the last week of September, and I will have at least read the first 2 books, that will be a feat in itself. So the second book is called The Traitor Queen, and this is the first duology. So it's kind of similar to the way that, like, what's it called? I think I'm just going to put these in the very front. It's fine. Even though this is not fine at all, actually. It's similar to, like, the Serpents and the Wings of Night series. It's done in, like, the same way, where there's 3 separate duologies, but you have to read them in order. So, Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen are the first 2, and then we have, The Inadequate Heir and The Endless War are books 3 and 4. I heard the first 2 are the best, but I'm still going to read all of them. I'm so excited because I've read A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, and I absolutely loved it. Those are the only 2 books I've read from her because it's just a duology, and A Curse Carved in Bone came out in May, and I had read A Fate Inked in Blood last August during my birthday month, and I loved A Fate Inked in Blood, so I'm very excited to read more of her books. This is the 5th book, The Twisted Throne. This is the most recent book that came out. 5 million books literally came out that day that this book came out, so I just simply did not have time to read it. It came out back in May. Okay, so this is the official TBR for September. As far as physical books go, hopefully I will be able to get to all of them. As you guys know, I am going to be very busy in September because since the new phone and like the new products come out for Apple, we don't know anything until you guys know, by the way. But we always have people asking, what do we know about the new books? And it's like, dude, I don't know anything. So your guess is as good as mine. So now I'm going to put Songbird and the Heart of Stone there. Literally, these are the only books that I've read on this shelf. Okay? I need to get to the rest of these series, or at least a couple of these series before the year is over. But Stephen King's Billy Summers, The Night Circus, and Bridge Kingdom are all on my 25 on 2025 list. 2025 on 2025. 2025 in 2025 of, oh my god, 25 and 2025 list. Can I speak? And then we have these 4 prompts. Okay. And then basically, I think that is everything. Except for, oh, we do have 2 more books. I'm lying. There's 1 more on the cart, actually, that I didn't put up here yet. All these books are literally, like, they take up so much room, you guys. The TBR cart's getting a bit out of control because, you know, since after Watson died and after my birthday, I did do some book shopping. I mean, I only literally bought 4 books. And then I bought 2 with my best friend. Actually, I'm lying. I think I bought almost 3 books with... I bought 2 books with my friend on my birthday, and then I bought 3 with her the last time I saw her on Friday. I actually didn't buy any books with Felicia today, so I was good today. So I had added like 5 more books to my cart, But this one I am 100% reading in September. I've heard nothing but great things about this book. And that is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I am craving the Dark Academia books right now. So, and look at these sprayed edges. Like, are you freaking serious? Like, so freaking pretty. And yeah, that is going to be going on the September TBR as well. So let's go ahead and start reading some of these synopsises. So Immortal Consequences says, welcome to the Blackwood Academy, the legendary school located on the fringes of the afterlife. Excuse me? I didn't know that. Once a pupil enters the academy's arched gates, there is no way out, except for the decennial, a once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a choice. Graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite, or cross over to the mysterious other side. This time, though, the rules have changed. This decennial isn't a celebration, it's a competition, and there can only be one victor. That's all I'm going to read. But that sounds amazing. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. So let's go ahead and read Rose in Chains, because we're kind of on a fantasy kick right now. So Rose in Chains, again, I think came out in July, and everybody's been raving about this book. This one says, the war is over, the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. The prophecy lied. They were supposed to win this war. Instead, Brianne Rosewood watches, shattered and grief-stricken. As her brother is killed, her kingdom falls, and her home is overrun by their enemies. Now Evermore is no more, and Brianne is sold at an auction, prized only for remarkable magic. Oof, that sounds like a lot, but it's so pretty. I can't wait to read this, so we are definitely reading that. And then let's read the Grave Flowers one, because this one sounded really interesting. This one says, a twisty, dark, royal court fantasy that takes the courtly intrigue of Hamlet and fuses it with the vicious ambition of the Boleyn family. Princess Mandalina and her twin sister Inessa were born attached at the hand and separated right after. That's the only time the sisters ever held hands. The girls' personalities have been shaped in the Sinnott family's drive to make their kingdom more than what it is, unrespectable and loathsome, a damp place where deceit fills the palace walls like mold. This sounds dark. Madalena is different from her family. She's considered the weak one and only finds peace in the garden, tending to her magical flowers, which are pejoratively called grave flowers because they are ideal for torture and torment. Secretly, she dreams of escape and a new life. Sounds very intriguing. I'm very interested in that one. Y'all know I love my fantasy books, so that's my genre. What is this here? This is like driving me nuts. Is there something here? I think it's literally just like stickers that I still haven't put on the damn TBR cart yet because I keep on forgetting to do that. Okay, we're just gonna put these back because like we're literally like crushing everything. Didn't this fit before? All right, you know what? We'll adjust it after this. Okay, and then the Bridge Kingdom says, the iconic Bridge Kingdom series begins. A sweeping, sizzling fantasy romance filled with political intrigue and passionate love. A warrior princess trained in isolation, Laura is driven by two certainties. The first is that King Arin in the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy, and the second is that she'll be the one to bring him to his knees. I've heard nothing but great things about this, so I'm very excited to read it finally. And then the Guncle, I'm not reading The Night Circus and Billy Summers again. I've read those like twice already. This one says, Patrick O'Hara is a bit out of his league. Patrick, or gay Uncle Patrick, the Guncle, has always loved his niece, Maisie, and nephew, Grant. That is, he loves spending time with them when they come out to Palm Springs for week-long visits, or when he heads home to Connecticut for the holidays. So when tragedy strikes and Patrick finds himself suddenly taking on the role of primary guardian, he is honestly overwhelmed. Patrick has no idea what to expect, having spent years barely holding on after the loss of his great love, a somewhat stalled acting career, and a lifestyle not so suited to his 6- and 9-year-old. But when his waggish set of Guncle rules no longer appease Maisie and Grant's parental void, Patrick's eyes are open to a new sense of responsibility and the realization that sometimes even being larger than life means you're unfailingly human. That sounds so good. Okay, let me just adjust the TBR card and then we'll talk about the new releases and then we'll be done. The reason why it wasn't fitting is because I forgot that I hadn't put Immortal Consequences up here yet. So I just put Rose and Chains on the back because they don't fit all in the front. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that'll be 12 physical books. Plus Alchemy of Secrets would be 13. So we'll see. So again, I'm already in the middle of Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I already started that book, and it's on my September TBR because I did carry it over from August. And I also, like I said, carried over Rose and Chains, and I'm loving both of them. I also carried over Malibu Rising because I started that the last day of August, and I already finished it yesterday, and I absolutely loved it. And like I said, I'm also reading Fearful by Lauren Roberts, which came out today, and it is the next book in the Powerless trilogy. This is the novella after the trilogy ended back in April, which was Fearless. And now this is very interesting, this one. I'm actually loving this one so far. I'm like 50% of the way through already. I think I'm definitely going to finish it tonight because it's only like another 2 hours that I have left. And I feel like I can't do anything else until I finish it. So that came out today, September 2nd. And then the other one that came out today as well, which again I've already read, is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. And that is a ARC read that I finished back on, I believe, August 30th. It's only like a couple days ago. It actually took me quite a bit of time to get through this, but it was really good. So this one came out today, and this is a very highly anticipated read for a lot of people because it is, again, the prequel to Divine Rivals, and it's a very popular duology. Okay, next up. Oh, I forgot the buddy read that I'm reading with Felicia, which is actually going to be another physical book. So I'm like, okay, I actually have quite a bit of physical books on my TBR this month. And the next one that I'm going to be reading in September is another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. This is also her newest book that came out. This came out back in June. I thought it came out in like July. But literally this has been out for almost 3 months already, and that is Atmosphere. So we are going to be buddy reading this book because at least I read Carrie Soto back in July, and then I just read Malibu Rising. So now I've read 3 of her books because I've also read Seven Husbands. So now this will be my 4th Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I'm absolutely loving her book. So I'm probably going to pick this book up very soon. I almost went and picked it up at Target tonight, but I just decided to go home after I saw Felicia because I really just wanted to film my TBR video. So yeah, that is everything on my actual TBR. People Watching, again, comes out September 9th by Hannah Bonham Young. And I just showed that before. I'm not going to read the synopsises of the rest of the new releases because I feel like we'll be here forever. Also, Road Trip with a Vampire, like I said, I'm going to be reading. And I just want to double check what the release date is again. With Vampire. Yeah, it comes out September 23rd of 2025. That's the cover. And then The Secret of Orange Blossom. Oh my god. The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake. Right? It comes out September 30th. Yeah, this one comes out September 30th. Very excited for both. And then there are quite a bit of other new releases that are coming out this month. But a lot of them come out at the end of the month. There is one more that I'm going to be listening to because I literally just finished catching up with this series because the movie came out for the first book on Netflix like a couple of days ago. This book comes out September 30th, though, so I might not even start listening to it until October 1st, and that is The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman, and this is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series. I just finished the 4th book, The Last Devil to Die, literally, like I said, like a couple of days ago, so now I'm all caught up with the series, so now I will be able to read that when it comes out. I just listened to the audiobook, though, because I absolutely love the narrator, and I stopped buying the books physically because they expenso and I don't need to own the entire series. And then there are quite a few other ones that I'm probably not even going to be carrying over until October, because this one is definitely a Halloween spooky themed book. And I absolutely loved the first book in this series. So this is the second book in the Maple Hollow series. And this one is by Allie K. Mulford and K.L. Morrison. Usually she collabs with another author to write these. And the second book is called Curses and Cold Brew. So I'm definitely reading this in October. I'm so excited for it. But I just wanted to say it comes out September. It literally came out today too. September 2nd. So I could literally download this on my Kindle right now. I didn't even realize it came out September 2nd as well. Like I said, it's new release Tuesday. And this is a cozy sapphic paranormal rom-com. So that could have been a paranormal romance as well. But again, since I'm not reading it this month, I didn't want to add it to the TBR. But I'm just telling you it just came out. Then we also have another paranormal romance, which again is not going to be something that I read until, what is it called? It's called Soul Searching, not Soul Catching. Why I think it was called Soul Catching. But I think I want to read this in October as well. I did read the Rebel Ranch series by Lila Sage this past summer, and I ended up growing to like it a lot more with the last two books rather than the first two. But Soul Searching by Lila Sage is the first book in the Sweetwater Peak series. And this one also comes out September 30th. But again, I don't think I'm even going to be reading it until October. So I will be talking about these again for my October TBR. Then the next one is Lynn Painter's newest book and newest YA book, which is Fake Skating by Lynn Painter, which also comes out September 30th. So there's a bunch of books that come out September 30th. That's probably a Tuesday. That's probably why. Yep, it's a Tuesday. That's why there's so many books coming out today and the 30th. So that makes sense. And then the other book, which I believe also comes out on the 30th, I'm not even going to be reading. Fake Skating, I might start September 30th, depending on where I'm at in the Bridge Kingdom. I might start that September 30th. But this one also comes out September 30th, but I'm not even reading this until Christmas, because this is a Christmas novella in the Belladonna world by Adeline Grace, and it's called Holly. Again, it comes out September 30th. Not even reading it until Christmas, because I don't read Christmas books until December. So, and then, what else? There are two more, and I think that is all of the new releases that are coming out in September that I am somewhat going to be looking out for. I don't know if I'm going to read this. This also comes out September 30th, but I might have I really don't have any interest in it because I've pretty much DNF'd this series, because this was probably the series that I was the most disappointed with besides 5 Broken Blades. Those were the two series that I was so bored with, and I thought they just dragged on, and I thought they would have been fine as a standalone. But the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series comes out September 30th as well, and it's called Every Spiral of Fate by Tahera Mafi. Now, I have read pretty much every single Tahera Mafi book in Shatter Me. I've read the entire series, and I also read Watch Me, which came out back in April, and the second book in the spin-off series comes out next year, and I'm 100% reading that. It's called Release Me. So I love the Shatter Me universe. I love it a lot more than This Woven Kingdom. I don't think that this series is really for me. But I read the Ember and the Ashes series, and people said that that was perfect for people that read This Woven Kingdom, and I loved that series compared to This Woven Kingdom. I just thought This Woven Kingdom was so boring to me. It was so it just dragged for me. It dragged. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna read the 4th book, but again, if I'm into Bridge Kingdom, then I'm 100% not reading, This Woven Kingdom. This also comes out September 30th, and these are the 2 novellas in the Lightlark series, which is Oro and Grimm's novellas. I don't know if these are necessary for me to read the 4th book that comes out in December this year. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know if I might read those like at the end of the month over Fake Skating, and then I'll just read Fake Skating in October. But the fourth book, Crown Tide, comes out in the Light Lark series in December. So I'm not really sure if I'm reading those two, but we'll see. And I think that is all the new releases, again, that are on my radar, and that is my September TBR. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my TikTok as well. Follow me for more book reviews. I love posting on TikTok right now. I just posted my August reading wrap up. My August reading wrap up on YouTube will be filmed at some point. I'm not sure. It might be filmed tomorrow before I go see one of my friends. But I'm not going to film it tonight because I'm just too tired. I needed to film my TBR. So yeah, that is it. Let me know what is on your priority list for September. I really would love to know. Have you read any of these books? Have you read the Bridge Kingdom series? Have you read the Four Winds? Please let me know. And let me know what's on your highest priority for September. Are any of the new releases on your list? Let me know, okay? So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day and keep reading. Bye! Okay, so hey there guys, so just one quick new release that I forgot to mention. I had no idea this book was even going to be having a sequel, but this one also came out September 2nd as well, and that is The Baby Dragon Bakery by A.T. Qureshi. This looks so adorable, you guys. I don't know like how like young or old these books are though, because I feel like they feel very young to me. And also the third one comes out next February. So I had no idea this was going to be a series. The first book literally came out this year. Why did I think this book was out for like a year or two already? But the first book came out January 16th of 2025, and then the second book came out literally yesterday. So it came out September 2nd as well. So I just wanted to say that really quick. So bye.